Hi, everyone. It's Lee Ashby Rogers. Thank you for joining me again. I am so delighted that you've decided to tune in. If you have not subscribed or if you're not following me on YouTube or downloaded the podcast, please do so. I am talking about shining anyway, even when shifts happen. And today I'm going to continue the conversation around rebranding over 40. A lot of people don't want to do it for various reasons, and we're going to bust down some of those myths. And today we're tackling one of the biggest myths that keep so many women and probably men over 40 from rebranding and stepping into their next season. So, one of the things that we hear is if I change directions, people will think I'm inconsistent. So, we want to bust that myth and make sure people realize that that is absolutely not true. And we're going to work around that that mindset and shift it. So, let's go ahead and tell the truth. The fear that has stopped a lot of us is really just what people often will think of us. So we want to get out of that mindset and really think about doing things for us and what we need to do to grow in our jobs, our careers, our lives, and be happy. We stay in jobs that we've outgrown. We keep brands and that no longer fit us or hold on to old versions of ourselves that we don't want people to say, oh, she's all over the place, right? We're thinking about what other people are going to think and say about us. So, what I've learned is growth is not inconsistency, it's evolution, right? So when you're changing your brand and you're doing different things, it's not inconsistency, it's growth, it's evolution. And if you've been changing, stretching, learning, and expanding, you're not flaky, you're becoming. Okay. So we want to talk about that, the becoming. So today we're going to unpack this myth and look at why we fear being seen as inconsistent and to confidently walk in your evolution without apology. So, where the fear comes from, let's just talk about that. Let's start here because most of us are raised on the message that, again, consistency equals credibility. And I know, honestly, I've probably said that many times. I think it's actually in my book. But I'm expanding my thoughts and thinking about it in a different way. So we're told to pick a lane and stay there. Be loyal, be dependable, don't confuse people. I've always taught that's kind of what branding is. And that's not all bad. Obviously, it's not all bad. It came from somewhere. Consistency does build trust. But what we were never told, but I'm telling you today, is that you can be consistent in your values while evolving in your expression. That's why I talk so much about values because it is literally the root, the key to everything. So can be consistent in your values, but evolve how you express your values. You can be consistent in your purpose and still change your path. You can be consistent in your mission and still update your methods. The fear of inconsistency often comes from the need to be understood. We don't want people to think we're confusing or scattered and all over the place. But the truth is, they might not understand right away. And that's okay. That's okay. People don't need to understand us right away. But when you start evolving and you're moving at a pace that people may not be ready to accept yet, it's okay. That doesn't mean you're inconsistent. It just means you're ahead of your own narrative. Love it. The difference between inconsistent and evolving. So let's just break that down for a few minutes. So let's make this clear. Inconsistency is when you abandon your purpose. And we're not doing that. We're not abandoning your purpose. But evolution is when you express that purpose in new ways. So think about your brand, think about your values. And even if you want to rebrand, your values are probably very similar and the same, but you're just evolving them and deciding to express them in new and different ways. You're not inconsistent because you went from corporate to creative. You're not inconsistent because your brand voice has softened or because you've added a spiritual or lifestyle element to your work. That's called being multidimensional. At 40, 50, and beyond, you've lived enough life to know you don't have to fit into one label, and we're not going to do that. So think about it. Beyonce, yes, Beyonce evolved from Destiny's Child to Lemonade. Oprah evolved from talk show host to a global thought leader and mogul. Michelle Obama evolved from first lady to storyteller, mentor, and podcaster. Did anyone call them inconsistent? No, they were called iconic, right? Because they allowed their brand to grow with their life. And that's what we want to do. We want to have our brand grow with our life. So, how to reframe consistency. Here's the reframe I want you to hold on to. Consistency isn't doing the same thing forever. Consistency is showing up as the same core person, your values, in every season. Your purpose stays the same. Your presentation just may evolve. So you can say, I've been passionate about helping people. I'm just doing it differently, right? You can also say, I've been always been drawn to creativity. It's just showing up in a new way. Or my voice hasn't changed. It's just grown deeper, right? We're growing, we're evolving, we're becoming. The people who truly matter in your life, your aligned audience, the people that really matter, will see the thought line. They'll recognize your growth and it'll resonate with them and your authenticity, right? The ones who don't, they were attached to your role, not your essence. They were attached to your role, not your essence. So release that pressure to stay on brand for other people's comfort and for them not to say you're being scattered and all over the place. You are your brand, not your logo, not your title, not your past version, not even all the activities and boards and things that you sit on. So let's talk about signs that you're ready to evolve. Ready? All right. If you're still wondering whether or not it's time to shift, here are a couple of signs. One, you feel disconnected from your own work and even from your content. Your goals excite your head, but not your heart. You crave new conversations, new rooms, new energy. You feel like you're playing small just to stay consistent. Mm, are you playing small? Those are not red flags, though. Don't think of it as red flags. Those are divine nudges. That's your spirit saying, I'm ready for more. I'm ready for more. So when that happens, don't resist the evolution. Honor it. Honor your feelings. Always check in yourself. Check in with yourself. Always be curious about what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. Every version of you prepared for this one. Now, how to evolve without losing trust? Because remember, that was one of the things that we talked about that was of concern. You don't want to lose trust with your audience, your people, all of that. You want to make sure that they trust you, um, that you have credibility. And that's a good thing. We should always want that credibility. So, how to evolve without losing trust. Number one, tell your audience the story of your shift. Storytelling is the key to everything. And Learn how to tell a really good story. Don't disappear and then come back completely new. Take them along the journey because people really respect storytelling and transparency. Number two is to show the connection between the old you and the new you. Remember, your values should be the bridge. So, for example, I used to focus on marketing strategy, and now I help women market themselves through personal branding. So, just show the bridge and show the connection. Number three, update your visuals and messaging gradually. People like to bust out with all new stuff, colors, pictures, all of that. Let people see your growth visually. Evolve your colors, tones, and photos to reflect your new energy, but do it gradually as you're telling them the story, right? Take them along on the journey with you. It helps to build the trust. And four, own your expertise even in transition. You're not starting over. Remember, we're building on top of a lot of history, magic, knowledge, expertise. You're standing on a new foundation built by your experience. All right. So let's go back to the myth. People will think I'm inconsistent. No, maybe some will. But let's say more about the comfort that change that will happen with the change. Let's say more about the comfort that with change, your commitment to growth. But that says more about your comfort with change than your commitment to growth. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to shift your message, your style, your goals, all of that, and still be solid, trustworthy, and whole because your consistency is not in what you do, it's in who you are. And who you are has layers, right? We all have layers. So don't let fear of inconsistency keep you from your next level. Keep shining, keep shifting, and remember, you're not all over the place, you're expanding. If this message resonated with you, I hope you will subscribe and you will keep following me. You will follow me on YouTube, you'll download the podcast. Wherever you're listening to this, keep following because I want to keep sharing more about this. It is my passion for people to realize that shining is not optional, it's a necessity. So, what part of your life are you ready to evolve? Think about it. So, until next time, keep shining forward and remember that shift happens, but we're going to shine anyway. All right. You all have an amazing day, and I will talk to you all soon.